Hey, what's up, guys? Just gonna do a little video here and show you guys how to speed up a cake. Um, in my previous video, you guys saw that I had I had purchased these pyro pokes. All right, I mean they're poly pokes, pyro pokes. This is the pyro poke. Poly poke just looks like a lollipop. But these are the pyro pokes that I picked up, okay? And this is what you pretty much use them for. This is one of the things you can use them for. So I'm just gonna run through and I'm gonna show you how how you can prepare a cake without e-match or anything like that. This is just using 1.4 product. This is a quick fuse. If you're gonna do it, I would recommend using this fuse. This is pretty much the fastest consumer of Visco out there, I think, anyway. This stuff is pretty fast. I think it's 0.4 seconds per foot or something like that. So it's pretty fast. So if you're gonna do it with this fuse. Don't use Canon fuse or Perfect fuse, just because it's a little slower and it won't work as well. So use the quick fuse. Another thing you will need is you will need an igniter. You will need your poke. In this case, I'm using my new pyro poke with the brass. You're going to need something to cut fuse. I just use these for now, these scissors. These are titanium, but I got to get some non-sparking ones, but these are alright. Just got to be careful. And a knife, so you can cut the cake open. Just any old utility knife, box cutter, or whatever, you know what I mean? And you're going to need tape. Obviously, you'll need tape. Alright, so this one here is done. Alright, you can see it's all set, it's all taped up, it's all ready to go, has the igniter all on there and everything, so all you got to do is just hook it up to a firing system and just let it roll. Alright, so what we're going to do is pretty much do the same exact thing to a different cake. Alright, so what you want to do is you want to find out where the fuse is, right here, and you want to kind of cut around it. You don't want to kind of go too deep because you don't want to cut into the fuse. You don't want to cut into the fuse. So you want to find out where the fuse is actually entering the cake. So you just want to find out where it actually enters. It goes all the way down here. And just cut a little bit more. So right now I'm just trying to find out where it enters the first tube. You know what I mean? So, we can stick something in there. Alright. Alright, so there you go. Alright, so you got it. It enters in right here. Alright, so what we got to do is right on top of that fuse. You don't want to go below it. You want to go right on top of it. Let me just pull this out. You want to go right above the fuse. Let me get that out of there. You want to go right above the fuse. You don't want to go underneath it. You want to go right above it. Alright? And some people, they cut their fuses off. I don't cut it. I leave it on there just in case, if I have to hand light it, at least I know the fuse is still there. So, alright, so we cut the box. We got to where the fuse enters. Alright, so now, this is where the pyro poke comes in handy. Alright? So what you want to do is we want to stick it, let's see if I can show you real quick. You want to stick it right in above here, and then just kind of push it in. Just right above it. Alright, let me get the smaller one just to... There we go. You might hear a little crunching, that's the black powder. I mean, even though I'm using a non-sparking tool, I still want to be careful. I still want to be very careful with it. You know what I mean? So, there you go. So now I opened up the hole. So that way we can fit a piece of Visco in there. So we're going to leave that other Visco there, but, I just wanted to open it up a little bit so I can fit another little piece in. Alright, so now I'm just going to cut a little piece of Visco. Cut it a little bit long, you could always trim it. And I'm going to shove it in so it reaches the powder of the first tube. Alright, so now I'm in there. Alright, you can see. Now I'm in there. Alright, you can just tape this fuse to the side. That's what I usually do. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my igniter. Well, you know what? I'm going to trim this down first. I'm going to trim it down pretty low. The lower the better, you know. So I'm going to trim it down pretty low. And then I'm going to stick my igniter right on. You know, I can even go lower than that. Let me go lower than that. The lower the better. You know, the closer into the cake, the better, because you know, the less time it'll have burning. All right, so we got it on there. All right, now what we want to do is grab our tape. And we want to just kind of tape it right to the cake. Right on the cake there. So that way it's not going anywhere. You know, we know it's gonna catch. You know, see? Alright, so now you kind of get an idea that it's in here. And I just put some tape over the other piece of fuse right here. But, so that's what it looks like, alright? But you're not done yet, you know. You always want to put a break. You always want to put a break. I can't stress that enough. When you're wiring cakes and stuff like that, you know, there's always a million wires going out in the field. And, you know, I mean, people trip. That's just how it happens, you know. Somebody's going to trip. So what you want to do is always put a break on the wire, alright? Doesn't really matter where you put it. Just, you know, just grab your wire, alright? So here's the top of the wire coming out of the igniter, alright? And then just tape the wire right to the cake. So now we got a break. So now, if somebody were to trip on it, it's not going to pull out. It's going to break. It's going to have to break through this first in order to get to that. All right. So now this thing is all ready. It's all ready to be electrically fired. I'll just grab the rest of this and just tie it up. And I'll put a small piece of tape just to kind of hold it on there for now. So that way when we go out in the field, or my backyard, we can go and fire it. So that's it, boys. That is how you fast fuse a cake. Well, make a cake go faster with, you know, with an igniter. This is all 1.4. I didn't use anything other than 1.4 product. But all I did was just, you know, just so when you light it, when you hit the button, there's no delay. Well, there's a little delay, but not much. So we're going to go outside and we're going to fire this thing off so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Alright? So we're going to light this one. This is a Super Stallion. And this is a Tropic Thunder. This is FOA. And this is Brothers. So let's go outside and fire these bad boys. Alright, boys. Number one is Tropic Thunder. In 3, 2, 1. And number 2 is Super Stallion. 3, 2, 1. Nice little cake, man. Both of them are. And there you have it. So as you can see, guys, it was pretty close to almost instant ignition. Alright, rate, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you guys thought, man. And pick up those poly pokes, dude. There's nothing, there's no price on your safety, man. Alright, man, this is Sippy. Peace.